Good morning, Grammar 5. Hope you guys are doing well. It is Monday night for me, and I'm recording all of these for you guys for the week. I definitely thought all day today was Tuesday, so my week is going great so far. Okay, so today for you, it's Tuesday. It we're going to be working on this is an interesting lesson, guys. This lesson is really just about problem solving. And there are times when you're going to have a word problem where you're not going to have a clear answer, and you kind of have to make the most sense out of the number that you've arrived at and honestly be confident in your math. Just because you get an answer that has a decimal doesn't mean it's wrong. Just because you have an answer with a funky fraction doesn't mean that you did anything wrong. You just have to check in the context of the problem. Did you do your math correctly? And does it make sense in the context of the problem? So today we're going to talk about word problems that have so many solutions or no solutions, because sometimes that does happen. So go ahead, make sure you've done your facts practice, and do your mental math warm up, your problem solving. Hopefully you guys are doing all of those on the regular. They're really important to do, especially that problem solving one. Um, okay, so let's hop into this new concept. So let's look at this problem right here. It says Mary has $5 more than Chandra. Together, they have $25. How much money does each girl have? So with this problem, we have to think critically about what question are they asking us? They're asking us to divide $25 into one outcome having, or one girl having $5 more than the other. So let's go ahead and take a look at this, right? So we know that to get to $25, you need to have $10 and you need to have $15, right? Ugh, I have the smart drawing part there. We're going to take that off. Nobody wants you to change your numbers like that. All right, let's try it again. Okay. Sorry about that. All right, so you got 10 and you've got 15, right? $15 is $5 more than $10, and the sum would be 25. So that seems to make the most sense. There's really no other way that we could do this where that Mary has, that Mary has $5 more than Chandra. Okay, so let's go on to just the first example. And these are a little wordy and definitely take some just a time to read to it and think through. So example 1, it says find two consecutive whole numbers whose sum is 8. So we've got to know a couple keywords here. Consecutive numbers are integers that are right next to each other on the number line. 5 and 6, 7 and 8. And sum means we're looking for two numbers next to each other on the number line being added. That's going to get us a sum of 8. Well, 1 and 7, you could do 1 and 7, but they're not together on the number line. 2 and 5, not together. 3 and 2 and 5 definitely doesn't equal 8, guys. 2 and 6 does. Sorry. All right, 3 and 5, not together. Got 4 and 4, and then you repeat the pattern going backwards. So really, there's no answer here that's going to give us two consecutive numbers on the number line that gives us a sum of 8. So that right there is going to mean that there's no answer. There's no solution to this problem. All right, let's go to the example 3. It says, or example 2, the length and width of a certain rectangle are whole numbers. If the area of the rectangle is 24 square units, what are the dimensions of the rectangle? So if we take a rectangle here, right, we know that the area, or that the length and width, no, the area is 24 units. That's important to know. There's two different ways we can arrive at 24, and we're just going to say, units squared. So units squared, right? You could either multiply 6 times 4, or you could multiply, maybe you could do 12 times 2. There's two different ways. You could do 8 times 3, 8 times 3. So because there's several different solutions to this problem, we know that there's multiple solutions, and it really doesn't give us any more information than what we have here. So with multiple solutions, just list out your answers. And you could even say that there's more than one solution to the problem. All right, let's do example 3. Again, I'm just doing amazing at counting. I almost said example 4. All right, so example 3, it says a class has two types of games. We have game A requires 3 players, and game B requires 2 players. How many of each type of game can students play so that each student plays in only one game? Well, we got to first think about how many players each player can play in one game at a time, right? So we know that game A requires 3 players, right? We know that game B, actually, I'm going to say B requires how many? 2 players, right? So I'm going to cross this out. I'm going to say A requires 3. So how many different games could you play, right? So if only game A is played, oh gee whiz. If only game A is play, then we know that we can have 4 of game A. So we can have 4 groups of 3. So we're going to say 4 groups playing game A, right? 4 groups, because 4 times 3 is 12, and there's 12 total. For this B game, if nobody else is playing this game, then you can have 6 groups. So we're going to say 6 groups of 2, right? Because then that would be 12. So we know you could start, the one way that you can record this is to start a table to record the results. So here, there's multiple ways for us to answer this question. So they even started a table for you down here, which is essentially what I was doing over here. So that is pretty much the gist of today. So guys, your lesson practice is down here. I want you guys to just think deeply about the questions being asked. Make sure your answers are in complete sentences, get them checked by an adult, and then go ahead and do your mixed practice. Guys, if there's any questions that you have about anything you've done so far, please don't hesitate to bring them to class on Thursday. Tomorrow we're going to be working on area. So lesson 115 tomorrow is going to be area. And that'll be up on YouTube for you guys. And then we're doing 116 in class on Thursday. Okay? Guys, you are like 5 or 6 lessons, well, after this lesson, 5 lessons away from being done with your whole textbook. Well done, buddies. You are at the finish line. Okay, see you guys on Thursday.